are live. I am here with two of my favorite YouTubers, Empire Daily and Grace Report, and we're here to spill the tea on the Real Housewives of Potomac. What's up, you guys? What's up, Empire?
I always love that intro. Right, yeah. I hear it in my head when I'm in the shower. TMI, but
What's up, Grace? How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. I am so ready for episode 2 with you guys. It was amazing.
Yes, I love Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, this is my favorite of the housewife franchises. Real Housewives of Potomac is my favorite. I feel like they really know each other, and I feel like they're spilling true tea on each other. So this is my favorite. I feel like RHOP is that girl. So I'm ready to get into it. And I wanted to start with their conversation at the dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Karen was spilling so much tea at the dinner table. And Karen said two things. She said two major things about Gizelle. She said Gizelle had a hot box. Okay. A hot box. And she said that she made a reference to Sing Sing, which is a prison
in New York.
Yeah, and Kempire's from New York. And I see some people are aware of what that is really a reference to, but I do see some people online on social media who are like, what is Sing Sing? Why would Gizelle have been in jail? Do either one of you guys want to address what is Sing Sing?
Well, I'm thinking maybe Karen didn't want to go that far in that particular moment. But I think the Sing Sing had to do with being locked up because, the rumor on the street was that, she had a mental breakdown after her situation with Jamal and she had went to a mental institution. I think that's what she may be alluding to.
Right. That is the word on the street that Gizelle was institutionalized at one point. It is allegedly. I did, you guys know I do my digging. I did try to research it, but I wasn't able to confirm it. And the thing about it is, it's somebody's personal health information. So it's not something that's going to be, confirmed by court documents on the internet.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure if that's kids. Karen's been sort of playing it off as if it's, I just thought it was playful. I was like, no, she knows something and she's trying to play it down now. Maybe she didn't initially want to say it until, Gizelle came at her.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I think she's letting Gizelle know, listen, what's up, girl? I'm here with this tea. Like, nobody knows. And like, everybody's curious about it. And I'm not telling them yet, but try me again. Try me again on the right day. I'll let them know what Sing Sing is. I'll stop playing dumb about it.
It's a
warning shot.
It's a warning. Yeah, it's definitely a warning. So as far as the hot box comment, do y'all believe that to be true?
My. I'm a little bit slow on this. So hot box, is that like an STD? Is that like a crabs or like something like that? What they call like the collabs?
I thought hot box was good at one point, but apparently not at all. But I don't deal in those realms.
Look, I think you want a warm box, not a hot box. I think a hot box. This is my opinion. I think a hot box is a reference to an STD that you cannot get rid of. That's what I think it's a reference to. Yeah. That is what I think. Yeah.
I would not. I don't know. Here's the thing. Someone like Jamal Bryant or like a Future or like a Nick Cannon, like laying it low, spreading it wide, them having like a hot rod or whatever it is would not surprise me. Yeah. Well, for a man, maybe it's a hot rod. And so like by extension, the women they sleep with might get hot boxes from like messing with them. So just based off that alone, not based off of Gizelle's own behavior, I wouldn't be too surprised, but I have no idea. I've never heard of anything like that regarding Gizelle before.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that before, but who knows if it's true, but I have heard that before.
You have?
Yeah.
I mean, we've all heard of Jamal's alleged past. I don't even know it's alleged. He has 5 babies. Right. So I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up catching something, and that's no fault of her own. That's no fault to her. That's a fault to him.
Well, let me just say this. It would be, a fault to him if he is spreading diseases allegedly, but she also, like, you have to own up to, if you're being intimate with someone that is not monogamous with you, you play your part. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
it would be somewhat fault to her, in my opinion, if she was to continue to be intimate with him, knowing that he is not monogamous with her.
Well,
And
yeah.
here's my thing. I don't believe that that's the reason why Gizelle can't keep a man. I think that there's a lot of other issues at play with her, because there are so many people with any STD, in like, you know, committed loving relationships. Some even have the monster and they're in committed loving relationships as well. So I wouldn't, you know, claim that just because she may or may not have this issue, she's like unlovable because of it. I think her personality and just other things about her is what kind of runs men off.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with that. And I wanted to talk about that. Gizelle made the comment, and Karen brought it back up, that Ray would be buried before she loses her beauty. Because Ray told her beauty doesn't last always, you know, you need to settle down, which, you know, that's a little bit problematic in itself. But Gizelle saying that Ray would be buried before she loses her beauty, that kind of shows you Giselle's personality. And
yes, exactly. Yeah, it's just so nasty. Like, why do you go to that? It's weird.
But in all fairness, Karen pulling that out of the bag out of nowhere, I was like, girl, she has said so much worse things about Ray that you should have brought up. And like, well, my kids were really young at the time, and loving the editors, 19 and 27. They weren't that young. And that's very little in comparison to some of the things that Gizelle had said about poor Ray.
Yeah,
I agree. Or even about Karen herself. You know, like when Karen's parents were dying, and like the way Gizelle and Robin and Ashley kept harassing her about the home, showing up to deliver the pizza or whatever. Like, you know, it was just an expose her for not living there. She's done so much nasty stuff, like Empire says, that it's like, really, this is what we're falling back to? I mean, I guess, but
I think it's one of the worst, though, because it deals with death. You know what I mean? I do think it's one of the worst things that she said. I know, you know, you can have your pick with Gizelle, but I do think it's one of the worst.
So do you perceive it the same way that Karen is claiming? Do you feel that, like, by saying that she was wishing death on Ray, or she was just saying he's 1 foot out the door?
Oh my God. Either way is bad. You know what I mean? Neither one of those is okay. It's not okay.
Yeah.
And obviously it meant something to her for her to still remember it 4 years later. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that kind of confused me as far as it, you know, because I don't recall her bringing that up on like the previous season. So it did seem like a reach in that way, you know, as far as the timeline. But I do think it was a reference to Ray's age and, you know, his future death. Yeah. And I think that's horrible. I think that's absolutely horrible of Gizelle.
Yeah,
I do.
I agree. You know, like you said, that it shows a lot about like her character and her personality, and why, you know, she has people running out the door within months of dating her or meeting her or anything like that. You know,
it's either that or the hot box, one of the two. It's either the personality or the hot box.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about this. This was still at the dinner when they were talking about when Wendy was revealing her plastic surgery. And I wanted to discuss, what do y'all think about the results of Wendy's plastic surgery?
Amazing. She looks great.
Yeah.
I don't think she looks all that different. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm looking at the before and after. To me, and I'm pro plastic surgery, obviously, but okay, I see the cheeks are thicker, but like the overall face is a little bit fuller in the whole like filler pillow face that people kind of claim sometimes. I kind of feel like maybe there's too much cheek action. I feel like I don't know, like she used to have this cute little dimple, and you see it in the before on the left that she no longer has. And I miss that about her. I don't look, the boobs look nice, but they weren't bad before either to me from this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like
I was more impressed with everything else. I mean, you know, because she hasn't admitted to anything to the face, but the boobs and the butt, I was like, she looked amazing in her red outfit at the Love Lunch. I was like, okay, that's some good work.
Yeah.
But did she change her personality?
I wish she would, because that personality is so damn abrasive for no reason. She makes like, I think she's like socially delayed sometimes. Like she's so off in her interactions with people.
Yeah. And to me, she really has an issue with like classism and elitism. And I feel like you see that coming out in her interactions with Mia, the new girl on the show. I feel like she is communicating with Mia as if she is better than Mia.
But isn't Mia educated and rich though? Like, so I'm kind of curious about the classism part of this. She's richer than, you know, Wendy and her husband are.
Yeah, but I still feel like Wendy talks to her like a student. Like when they had their interaction at that dinner, and even their other scene where they were all sitting, the three of them, Wendy, Karen, and Candace. I feel like Wendy communicates with Mia as if Mia is a student of hers.
Yeah.
I think with Wendy, she thinks anyone that doesn't have a doctorate or is on her level.
Yeah.
Wendy, you got a doctorate, so you can come on Real Housewives of Potomac like everybody else here. You can get a BBL like anybody else, any Instagram baddie, and now you're trying to sell candles. So don't look down on people. Like, do you need a doctorate to do all these things? Because I don't think so.
And we definitely see that. We see the change in Wendy. And I feel like, I'm not sure if Wendy knows who she is, because you see her changing from this, professor, like this professional woman. And then you see her tapping more to her creative side. But it also gives you the vibe with the plastic surgery and everything. In my opinion, it gives me the vibe that Wendy is not clear on who she is. Like, that's the vibe I get from her.
Yeah, she seems very insecure.
Yeah. Not just a woman in transition, but I do see some insecurity there.
But I feel like it's so normal based on like her background, like the strict Nigerian upbringing and stuff. And like a lot of times in these cultures, in my culture as well, it's your parents have these goals for like their kids on what they're going to do and stuff. And they really try to push you in that direction where, instead of letting you explore what you like. And she didn't say from season 1 that she didn't want to do all these things. She got these things for her parents to brag about her for. So she's finally like coming out of that shadow and stuff and figuring out what she wants to do on her own terms. So yeah, I do think she might be insecure and lost, but like in a more like, I understand the background, like culturally speaking.
Yeah.
I was just thrown off by the candles though.
Me too. I was like, really? This is so random.
Yeah, it is kind of random. But by the way, shout out to Jackie Aina. I'm about to order.
That's what I was thinking to her about the candles.
But for her, look, I love a good candle. Don't get me wrong. I love a good candle. But when she said home essential, I said, oh, really? That's where you want to? To me, she's showing over and over again that she doesn't know who she is or who she wants to be. And that might be because of the way that she grew up. I don't know. But candles, okay. I mean, I'm willing to smell it though. This smells good. I'll buy it.
When I think of home essentials, I don't think of candles. What was I thinking? I was thinking maybe like linen or something like that. Like I wasn't thinking like candles at all. Yeah, flatware. I don't know, not candles.
I want to talk about Mia also. As far as Mia, they showed like her family life. And I had to be honest, I was a little bit triggered by her family life. She said her husband is retired, right? Yeah. And she has her daughter seemed young, like 2 years old. Mm-hmm. But if her husband is retired from the business, as far as their chiropractic clinics, and then you saw she took a phone call while she was, feeding her daughter breakfast, and he seemed to be upset about her taking a phone call, but he's retired. That kind of triggered me is because it's like, why is he upset with her doing business? If he's retired and he has a young child, to me, that means that he is the primary caretaker for the young child. Mm-hmm. So why is he getting upset with her for taking a phone call?
Maybe because he knows when she's home, maybe she's out, working a lot. So when she's home, he hopes that that's their time. Maybe that's what it was. But from what we hear, he's going to show up and show out this season, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that is interesting. I get, I see what you're saying, Campire, and I also see what Layla's saying, which is, okay, well, why don't you watch the child then while she's on the phone, and then you guys spend time together and with the child or whatever, Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. It reminded me because I'm doing a rewatch of Housewives of Atlanta. I'm on season 3 right now, and the last episode I watched was Cynthia on the phone with Nene, and Peter was so pissed about it. He told her, stop. Like, when I come through the door, I don't want you on the phone with Nene. And it's because he was stressed about wedding planning. So maybe something else is going on in the background with this guy right now. Stressing him out that we don't know about quite yet, and maybe that's what's going to make him show out.
And we don't know what exactly was edited out. There could have been a conversation where he was like, "I thought this was going to be our time baking and doing things with the family, and now you're taking a call."
Yeah,
even if that was edited out, to me, it's still an issue. It's still an issue. But how do you feel about? Do you hang up when your man walks in the door and if you're on the phone? Do you hang up?
Not immediately, but I do try to kind of wrap it up a bit. Because I think, that first interaction is really important to kind of like set the tone for like the rest of the evening or day or whatever. So I do try to wrap it up and maybe call them back later or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Kempire?
I don't have one, so I have no idea what the rule of etiquette will be. So now you're making me think. But I think normally, even if I have a guest, if someone was to come over my home and someone calls, I would keep it short unless it's like really important. But I think just it's manners.
Yeah. So we also saw in the episode that Candace is acting. She's doing music. I love her voice in her new music video. I think she is doing her thing. But we saw that she is acting and that her husband, Chris, is acting as her manager. Her husbander. What do you guys think about that?
I'm not a fan of it. I feel like men who go down this route tend to eventually resent the wives, especially if she were to pop off or something like that. Or maybe she'll start resenting him if she's not popping off enough. I think I saw as of this morning, her music video has like 5,000 or something views or something like that, which is good. But like she's on Real Housewives of Potomac, which has millions of viewers and stuff. You would expect a big press run and like all this other stuff. Her Vivo channel that dropped, it doesn't even have an icon picture. I'm like, isn't this all the stuff a manager should have in place? Like, I think eventually she's going to be like, come on, man, let's do it. And didn't they say he had like this catering business now that he sold the restaurant that he never owned or whatever, and like he does virtual class? Like, where is he finding the time to take care of her career in between all of this? I don't get it.
Oh, remember, he's new to managing. He doesn't know anything about managing.
Yeah, he said he doesn't know anything about entertainment managing. What he's doing is really managing Candace. And that to me sounded like, okay, Candace is not a child. Like, she's a grown woman. She managed her life for 20-something years before she met you.
Did she really manage her own life, or did Miss Dorothy manage that life?
Oh, my God.
I don't know. She was a grown child to me.
I have to say, though, I think Candace's acting, and I think Candace's acting is actually not bad. It's not. She's not bad. Even her song, the remix that she did to her wedding song, I enjoyed as well. I'm not sure how I feel about her as an artist overall. I have to hear more. Yeah. But I definitely enjoy her acting. I do think this season, though, they're trying to do damage control based on her image last season. Focus more on her career. Focus on her being a mother. And I'm not sure if I believe it, but we'll watch.
Yeah.
You think Bravo owes that to her after showing her getting attacked last season? Do you think they owe it to her to show her in a different light, showing her as a stepmom, showing her professional career as far as her?
I don't know if they owe it to her, but I definitely think they've taken that leap in regards to both Candace and Chris to repaint the image.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's been conversations. Now she's signed to Chucky Thompson. I'm sure there's been conversations with her management team. This is the image that you need to portray, especially if we're trying to get you into do acting and singing. She's trying to move forward in a different way. So what the image that she had last season on and off camera was not good for her.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. She has come across as a brat. She's come across as a brat that ended up getting attacked. That's how she's come across on the Real Housewives of Potomac. And if you want to give a fuller picture of her, in my opinion, I do think she's more than that. Like, she might be a brat, but I can also see, like you said, she's good at acting. She's good at singing. Like, she has other qualities other than being a brat. You know what I mean?
Let's hope.
Let's hope so. We'll see.
I think she's made it clear. I think she's made it clear that she does have other qualities. But listen, I wanted to get into this awkward conversation with Ashley Darby. Oh my God. Ashley talking to her mom about her sex life and how she's using other hoes and it's not really sex, but she got to do what she got to do because she's pregnant. What were y'all's first impressions of that scene?
I thought it was so odd, but I come from a very like socially conservative family where you're not even holding your man's hand or anything in front of your parents. So this kind of conversation to me is just so mind blowing between mother and daughter. And I was also wondering what other hole she was talking about, because at first I thought, she was slobbing the knob, and then she said that she was turning to the side. So I'm like, which is it? Right? Which is it? I don't know. I feel so slow when this girl talks, but she's just so crass to me.
That you can't even grab onto it.
Oh my God. I cringe during that, but very much like you, very much like you, Grace. I come from more of a conservative family, but maybe they do have these sorts of conversations all the time off camera. I don't know, but I cringe. It's like, why are you sharing this with your mother? Does Ashley not have any other friends? Have we met any other Ashley's
That's a good
girlfriend?
question. That's a good question. I
never
don't think we
know.
have.
No.
I'm sure she has friends in real life because she seems very social and she seems friendly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the first
But
season
I
we
don't
may
think
have
we
seen one or
have.
two.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that was strange to me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I'm a little
Yeah.
bored with Ashley though this season so far.
You're bored with her?
I'm a little bored with her.
Well, she's pregnant. What is she supposed to do?
No,
Pregnancy
I'm,
is
and
never
I'm
great
not one
for
that
TV
says that
on
she
Housewives.
needs to act up, but even her personality, I have to give it to her though. When everyone's popping off her facial expressions, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, Ashley, and I like Ashley. I think Ashley's
Yeah.
necessary for the show, but so far, Michael's not showing up. He didn't show up to the love lunch. Michael is not trying to be on camera. He's doing a Juan Dixon.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
blame him after all he's done on this show. Like, I feel like he shouldn't even be on the show after grabbing people. To me, that's assault. So I feel like he shouldn't even be on the show and he should be embarrassed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, we see a scene where they're visiting Gizelle's home. What are y'all's first impressions?
The West Wing.
The West Wing. The West Wing. From the outside and the inside, because I feel like the outside and the inside is two different vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It sounds a little bit like our girl Gizelle. From the outside and the inside, two different vibes.
Beautiful on the outside.
Allegedly.
Well put. On the exterior's front, I'm like, when you enter it, it looks like the back. When you look at your house from the back and it's all that like siding and stuff, that's what the front looks like to me, like the back of a house, like the leftover material.
The back of my house is like that. I know exactly what you're saying. It's just all siding and windows. That's all you see.
It's not as cute.
No.
Yeah.
And then it's like a bungalow mixed with a 3-story house on the side. It's not cohesive. Then of course you still got that the kitchen, with all the white appliances and stuff. Every time I see her refrigerator, I think of that Nene thing. It's like, oh, a white refrigerator. Oh no, honey, let's go get you a home.
You know what? Look,
Yeah.
I don't mind the white appliances because if you make it, what I mind is if you do that, a white refrigerator, and then you have a stainless steel microwave or something. Like, let it all match and make sense. I have to say the inside looks far better, not decor wise, but like, the actual foundation of everything else looks better than the outside.
Oh, you know what? Her closet, her bathroom were the two rooms that I thought were really nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's so ironic that this girl who can't dress to save her damn life has this giant closet to put together like the most horrendous outfits in, like really? Okay.
But that's what I love. That's what I love about RHOP. Like the tagginess of it all. Like I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Gizelle is so pretty and can't dress. Like I love that she would build this magnificent home. From the inside, it looks magnificent, but from the outside, it does look horrible. I love that.
And then she has that living room wall that is as purple as Darren Wood's icon right here. Like for the living room.
Yeah, that's a lot for me. That's a lot.
That's her personal taste. I think she's definitely hired a stylist recently. She's starting to look a little bit better besides the wig and some of the confessionals. But she's coming along after 6 seasons.
Oof. I hope she does a little bit quicker because she's a mess.
Not quicker.
See, she looks cute here at least. I thought in season 2 she was really, really cute, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's a pretty girl on the outside.
Yeah.
But one thing she said when they were talking about buying houses, I believe she might have been talking to Robin, but one thing she said again was that Ray would be dead before he purchased another home.
Why did it have to go there again? What did Ray do to her? And why does she keep using death? Like she's so nasty. And for her to be coming for him over his taxes to Robin. Has Robin paid back her taxes yet, y'all? I don't know.
We don't know. Yeah,
we had a lien recently. What is that?
I think from what we heard, they did pay off. She did.
Yeah.
She paid off the taxes.
Well, good for her. Good for her.
Ray. So why is Ray a target for this and Robin is not?
And you don't see Ray. Like, I know he made the comment about Gizelle needing to settle down. And I don't know if that really hurt Gizelle. I'm starting to think maybe it did, even though Gizelle gives this hard exterior. Maybe it did hurt her like that. And so maybe she does have some beef with Ray. But when you watch the show, you don't see Ray like taking jabs at her. Like, he's not a Peter Thomas. You know what I mean? You don't see him.
He was just like an older guy, like trying to like push. Like, who even knows that? Like, was it his place to tell her that? I don't think so. Did she ask him that? I don't think so. So I could see why she would be pissed at it, but that's no reason to keep talking about somebody's death. It's quite disturbing.
Mind you, she keeps talking about him and not necessarily Karen. So that says a lot.
Right. And
she's obsessed with everybody's husbands.
Right. Karen has asked that you not discuss anything that you don't bring to the table. So like if you don't bring a husband to the show, don't talk about my husband. If you don't bring kids to the show, don't talk about my kids, which to me seems fair. Like when she said that, I was like, you know what? That's right. That's right. Yeah.
She's always coming for the husbands.
Yeah. Yeah. That made sense to me. But there's another scene. Okay. And this, I am not for this, but speaking of Ashley and her relationship with her mom, and she was sharing that she's eating her placenta. She's making plans to bottle her placenta into pills and eating her placenta. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I've heard about that before, so that didn't really shock me. So I was like, okay.
Me neither. I feel like she did it in the with her first birth as well. Like I feel like I remember hearing something about that as well. I don't know. She's a very crunchy granola kind of a mom. So to me, it's not very surprising. But Layla, what I feel like maybe you might have forgotten is while Robin was at Gizelle's house, first of all, she was like, that thing from the outside is a mess. And then second of all, she was like, I never believed that her and Jamal, like in this iteration of their relationship, was gonna last. And then at that point, Gizelle also confirmed that he was the man in the phone. Yes. So you're kind of like at this point, like, why is she still pissed at Karen? She's confirming everything that Karen said.
And I'm glad you brought that up. Because Karen tweeted about that this morning on the show. Gizelle did say he is the man in my phone. Like she admitted Karen was right. And so somebody tweeted, not Gizelle agreeing that Jamal lives in her phone. So you agree Karen was right all along. And Karen said, where did I lie? Where is the lie? It was true.
I'm over her this season so far, trying to explain this fake and phony relationship because I don't believe a word of it. I don't believe that they were together at all. Oh God. I don't believe it. I think very much like Robin, he has her back because she's on the show. It's a one way for her to make money for her and the kids. And that's why he decided to go along with it. But now he revealed on social media that he was not going to be featured on the show before they broke up.
Oh, you're on mute, Layla.
I'm just talking. I'm really glad you brought that up, Grace, because what Robin said kind of echoed my sentiments. I didn't feel like Gizelle and Jamal were actually together like in a committed monogamous relationship. I always felt when he said it's baby steps, I always felt like they were just dating. Like when you first meet somebody and you're dating and you're feeling it out, seeing how it goes. I always felt that that's the stage that they were in. And Robin kind of confirmed that.
I don't even think they were there. I felt like they were in the scheming phase where they were like, listen, I need a damn storyline for once in my life. Please, 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 like come and pretend to be my man for a few months. That's what I feel like.
Yeah. For the bag. And so when Jamal did his binder video, when his binder was upside down, and he said in that video, remember he was like, I will never appear on the Real Housewives of Potomac again. I already knew, okay, that's the end of their relationship because I felt like their relationship was based on him appearing on the show. You know what I mean? As her man. So I felt like he ended it right there.
And that's why I'm so bothered by her trying to make it seem like it's something else.
Exactly. Like, give it up, Delicious. We all know what this is. We see it for what it is. Move on. And honestly, just be embarrassed that you put your kids through this. Like Wendy's saying in that gift, do better. Like they should not have brought this level of embarrassment out for the kids. You know, the way the kids were clowning her like all last season over this. Her dad was embarrassed to be a part of the circus. Like, stop. No one's buying what you're selling, Gizelle.
Yeah, and that says a lot. When your own dad, you know what I mean? The person that loves you most is like, no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And God only knows what the father knows that we don't know. We know a lot, which is crazy, but God only knows what he knows.
Exactly. Remember, her parents did not go to that damn wedding. They're like, you are being a whole ASS fool, and we're not going to support you in this. Sorry, not sorry. Like, why would someone like Gizelle, who's always bragging about her beauty and how everyone's after her, athletes, this, that, why would she settle for this? The man was having kids on her since before they got married. And then in the marriage, and she was still like, it doesn't compute to me. I don't think she believes what she keeps saying about herself. I don't.
The only way.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say the only way it computes to me is if the hot box is true. Like if she does have, this is terrible, but I felt like, okay, if she does have an STD that's incurable, I could see why she would want to go back to the same person, like that knows her health history. That's kind of how I looked at it. Once Karen let that out the bag, that it all kind of made sense.
If Usher can do it, allegedly, she could do it too. Okay, Usher done moved on, had 2 new babies. Okay.
That's the thing. And it's like, if this man gave you this and there's still much bigger ones out there, do you not want to just cut your losses rather than potentially contract if you already contracted this? I don't know. Like the ultimately, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'd be scared. I would be shook. Yeah. I would be furious.
But it's clear. Look, anyone that brags about how good they look are usually very insecure people.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. They said preach, Campfire.
It is not true.
Whole other new baby coming, Usher.
And I think she has low self-esteem for sure, for sure. The way that she comes after girls with more than her, like the Moniques of the bunch and the this and that, I definitely think she's insecure, low self-esteem, and
But that's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible because she seems otherwise to have it together.
Does she though? Does she really?
Here we go. You
seen that house? You seen those outfits?
Exactly. No.
So I wanted to also get into, as far as relationships, do y'all feel like Karen and Ray are intimate? Because I feel like I heard something about rubbing on a pillow, a dry pillow.
Oh.
Are we not too old for
humping the pillows?
Yeah, and she's like 50 something.
I do think that they are intimate because in that Newlywed Game they were like on the ball about like their their favorite positions, I think, and like the wildest places they've done it and stuff. But it's just not the same as it used to be because of his age. Maybe it's I don't know. It's just different. It's not. And she's quite younger than him too, so maybe she needs something a bit more. So maybe there is a mismatch, but I definitely do think that they are she's so in love with him. You could see it in her eyes. Him, I don't know.
But I also believe you can be. I believe you can be in love with someone and still be intimate with other people.
Yeah,
that's my personal opinion. So I just don't know about that whole situation. I don't know about that whole situation.
And then she write those questions, so she already knew the answers. They knew the answers going into that game.
Right. I knew that was coming. Yes, I concede that too. Here's my thing, though. Both Ashley and Gizelle have said that Karen told them like negative things about Ray's penis. Yeah. So maybe there is some truth to that. I don't know if they're lying or telling the truth. I don't know. But maybe if 2 separate people are saying it, there might be some truth. So maybe when they were having issues at some point, something happened intimately where she was just spilling it all, thinking she was going to leave.
Well, that is a note to everyone. Stop telling your and these aren't her real good girlfriends. Even if they were your good girlfriends, don't be talking about your intimate relationships with your partner, because things like this happen. You think I would have lost my mind if someone said that about my partner? And said that I said it.
But if you did say it, would you still lose your mind if you really said it?
Well, I wouldn't have said it, but I'm just saying she shouldn't lose her mind. She shouldn't lose her mind because she done told them that terribleness about poor Ray. And Ray, I would understand not being in love with her after hearing that. And your production was immense for filming those pillows.
They zoomed in, played that romantic music. I love production here.
They're so shady. So shady. I love it. I just can't imagine being 50-something years old and being intimate with a pillow. Like, I cannot wrap my head around that. Like, I just can't. Yes.
And, they asked her if it was vibrating.
Oh my God.
I had a good looking couple.
They are good looking, but even if the pillow vibrates, Grace,
not at this point in your life. My God, if you have to get a pillow, it might be time to get a new man.
I don't know. Because I do feel like they love each other. I do.
Yeah, but you can love someone and outgrow them. Even if you were to separate from someone, we shared a really great relationship, but now I need to be sexually satisfied, even in my 50s. Don't tell me it's over after 50.
But can't they just open it where like they can like, you know what I mean? I feel like like we were saying last time on last week's recap, maybe there's something a little unconventional there so they get their needs met.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And I feel like Ray, I feel like he would be open to that. I feel like he would.
Me
I
too.
bet he would be.
Yeah,
I don't think Karen would be though.
Really? I think she would be. Why not?
Because she's a Taurus like me and I'm not.
But Blue Eyes Campire, wasn't it already like clocked the Blue Eyes situation?
Well, it's probably because she's done with the relationship.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. So they talked about Karen and Candace kind of like trying to reestablish their relationship, because at one point it was revealed that Karen called like Bravo HR about Candace, because Candace, I can't remember if Candace told her to go to hell or something. You know, Candace has a mouth and she said something crazy to Karen, and Karen like called HR. So they're trying to repair their relationship. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I remember Karen claiming that like she did it for Candace. She was like, Candace seemed like she was gonna hurt herself, or just she was in a really dark place. So I tried to get her the help. I don't know. Like, I just feel like Candace is just such a professional victim. She needs to let it go. Karen said that what Monique did was wrong. And then she also acknowledged that Candace did play a part in that situation. She was not a sitting duck. You know, accept it, Candace, or move on at this point. Like, you don't need to come, you know, at least she didn't fold a tissue paper at this time, but like still.
Right. And you know what? I don't think we've seen her fold tissue this whole season, like episode 1 and episode 2. We haven't seen Candace cry.
The bar is in Halle. If you have to, if we have to celebrate the fact that this grown woman is not folding a tissue for 2 whole episodes.
I'm just saying.
Oh, Candace.
I can't.
Drag
Look
me.
at her. Drag me, Monique, but don't drag me, or I'll cry all season long about it.
I can't with that.
Yeah.
But I did want to also mention, this was kind of tense to me in that meeting with Wendy and Candace and Mia Thornton. And Mia made the comment. She was talking to Wendy. And like I said, Wendy was talking down to her. And then I believe Wendy put her hand in Mia's face. And Mia, no, it might have been the other way around. Mia put her hand in Wendy's face and then said, "What are you going to do about it?" And to me, when you say, "What are you going to do about it?" it's another invitation to physical violence. So to me, I was like, here we go again.
Yeah.
Here we go. Going through the same thing.
But why is Wendy so bothered by Mia? Someone called into my live yesterday and speculated that maybe the alleged, this is all alleged, that the woman that Eddie allegedly cheated on Wendy with looks like Mia, and it's not a white woman. It's actually a woman that looks like Mia. And I was like, well, that's an interesting possibility.
I feel like Eddie is a good man. That's a good man. I told you that before. That is a good man, Savannah. And I
hope you don't get your feelings hurt.
My feelings gonna be hurt. I'm gonna just make a video, okay? We talked about that before we got started. Yes, I'm gonna just make a video. My feelings are gonna be hurt for real. I'm gonna just be like, let me find my final cut.
I was right.
I don't know. I just feel like, again, the situation got to a level it didn't need to get to, right? What were they even talking about? First of all, rewinding back to the first scene, Mia seemed really shady. She came to that dinner party with Karen as Karen's friend. She watched as Gizelle taunted Karen to the point where Karen had to fight back. And then she's sitting up there making Karen look like a fool, talking about, oh, Gizelle, I could tell you have a good heart. Gizelle, what's your number? Robin, what's your number? Like all this like fakery. And so I think Wendy was calling her out for it. She was responding. And then Wendy was being really condescending to her, hand in the face, I'm not done, all that stuff. And
I don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Just so
you also have to remember that this is a reality show. She doesn't she's not that good friends with Karen. So her exchanging numbers, this is her first time meeting the ladies. That makes sense that they're going to exchange numbers because they're supposed to start building relationships. And when they understand
groupie energy, because as far as the show is concerned,
did you say groupie energy?
Yeah, give me groupie energy.
Yes, that was groupie energy. I agree. That's what I got. Okay, I really want to be friends with Gizelle. I'm not being brought on by Gizelle, but I really want to be friends with Gizelle. Yeah, that's what I got from it.
I just couldn't stand it. And, you know, like, as far as the show, we're supposed to think that they're friends and all that. So, like, for her to, like, turn her back on Karen in that moment after all the attacks that Gizelle launched on her and all the tension there, and then to go further a little bit later and stuff, disturbed me. And I was glad to see Wendy call her out for it. She's like, you seem a little bit fake. Because now here you are in front of everybody, right? Talking about how Karen's the boss. Karen's the real boss. The this, the that. Like, no, boo. Just the other day, you were talking about this girl had a good heart. So which is it?
Right.
You also noticed that Karen wasn't even bothered by it. So that said a lot more to me.
I feel like Karen at this point, she rolls with the punches. You know what I mean? Like, she's not going to show, if she is bothered, she's not going to show it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At this point.
Yeah.
I also don't think she is bothered based on her behavior with Mia, since. So honestly, I don't think she was bothered by it at all. And I don't blame her because she understands it's a show. She's has to feel everyone out. And she also said it in her confessional. She's like, I used to think that, Gizelle was a darling too, but, I found out later she's not. Exactly.
Yeah. Do you guys think I think we kind of clearly saw when it came to the premiere parties and stuff, it's quite segregated in terms of the groups. You saw Candace, Gizelle, and Robin. And then you saw Mia, Wendy, and Karen, and right? So do you think that Gizelle, as usual, listen, Gizelle was looking at Mia funny when she was running down, all the things she owned, all the husband she had and everything. So I'm pretty sure that relationship is not going to work because Gizelle just cannot have friends who were successful and married and just happy in general.
Is that why she's besties with Robin?
Yeah, it could be because Robin is lacking as far as her relationship. Robin kind of effed up her relationship, to be honest, as far as the money, which is a big deal in marriages, okay? Yeah. And so Robin gave their money away. She gave away all of Juan's money to someone who, was running a Ponzi scheme and eventually, allegedly, took himself out of here, which is a whole nother layer. But Robin, in my opinion, kind of effed up her marriage. And I could see why Gizelle, who has a tendency to be jealous of married women who are also successful, Robin is not a threat to her because Robin, effed up her marriage,
Exactly. I agree. Wasn't it Monique? Monique called this, or was it Katie? Monique, I think, was like, listen, that's why y'all are friends. That's why she likes Robin. And honestly, I think it's true. And it's not to look down on Robin or anything like that. But when you call a spade and look at the way that Gizelle treats successful married women, it's no surprise to me that her only friend is not what most people would consider successful compared to everybody else in the show, like in Real Housewives level. And is not married.
Yeah, that's true too.
Not even engaged, if we're going to be honest here.
Oh, she has an engagement ring.
A pink one.
She's got a fake engagement ring for a fake engagement, just like Karen called it at the dinner table. When are you guys getting married? When September, spring, summer. September, spring, summer. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
that was definitely some shade. Before we get out of here, I just want to mention, as far as Gizelle, I just want to say this. When I see Gizelle with her girls, I feel like I am looking at a complete family. I feel like Gizelle and her 3 daughters, her twins and her oldest daughter, I feel like that's it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a complete family. And I was surprised to see Gizelle's daughter doing confessionals. Her oldest daughter, Grace, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was surprised to see her doing confessionals because they all kind of act like they don't want to be there. But to see her doing confessionals, like, okay, so she does want to be on the show. Mm-hmm. So I think her daughters are beautiful. I just love, the one thing I love about Gizelle is her relationship with her daughters. I think she's doing a good job raising her daughters.
Well, she has to have somebody in the confessional. She doesn't have a husband.
Is he wrong?
Let me ask you, Grace. Let me ask you. Grace?
You go first. Oh my God. It's true. She does wow with them and stuff, like when she's speaking to them. But I think, again, the daughters clock her on the way that she treats people and stuff. And so just based off of that, she really needs to be careful about this mean girl persona that she has and expressing that around them, because that's not good. It's like if your own kids are telling you to do better in terms of like being mean to people, you should probably be careful about what it is that, you know, you're exposing them to.
Yeah. Her daughters definitely check her. And my daughter is 7. She checks me too.
Yeah.
She checks me. Yes. She keeps me straight on everything.
It's only going to get worse as she gets older.
I know, but I need it. I feel like I love that. But Grace, what I was about to say when I was saying your name, because Kempire mentioned, you know, that Gizelle is doing confessionals with her daughter because she doesn't have a husband. And I know, you know, in real life, you don't have to choose. You don't have to choose between kids and a husband, right? In real life.
Yeah.
But when it comes to love, if you had to choose between a daughter and a husband.
What do you mean? Like having one or like?
Yes, because the way Kempire, when you said that to me, I wouldn't mind doing a confessional with my daughter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a bad thing to me.
And I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, but remember last season, she was trying to give us this relationship. And now this season, she doesn't have that relationship. And now we're getting a confessional with her daughter. It was very random. Okay.
So maybe it's just me that just loved it.
I loved it too. But that's the thing that's what came to mind because, you know, we're seeing confessionals with Candace and her husband. We haven't seen Michael and Juan because, you know, they're MIA. And we haven't, Ray's always in the scene. So,
yeah.
Okay. I get what you're saying. It's not a motherhood show. It's a housewife show.
Yeah.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And it's a little shady to Gizelle. I love it.
All right, you guys. Well, this is something, I don't know if I said it at the beginning. I might have forgotten, but this is a dream team right here. We collaborated last week on Grace Report's channel. Me, Kempire, and Grace Report did a review of episode 1. And we decided this is magic. This is black magic right here. So every week we're going to be reviewing the show and spilling tea on each of our respective channels. So I guess next week would be Kempire. Because we do Grace Report channel. Yeah. So next Monday, you can catch us on Kempire's channel. And make sure you check out, I made a banner. I forgot to run the banner.
And Layla, what about the couples game?
Love Line.
Oh my God. What about the couples game? What about it?
Okay. It was my favorite scene of the episode. Okay. I'm going to like flip right through. Remember the last question in the couples game when they're like, who in this friend group would your husband go for? Who did Ray say, Kempire?
Wait, say it again? Who did
Ray say like he would go for if he wasn't with Karen?
Oh, wait. What did he say? Oh my God. I can't remember.
Katie Ross.
Yes.
He brought up Katie. Oh,
she was so shocked.
Oh,
and then Mia's husband was like, oh, Karen. And then Wendy, this is where her insecurity towards Mia comes through because, you know, her husband's up and he's writing Mia's name. And then Wendy's like, I know you're not writing what I think you're writing. That looks like Mia. And so he erased it. He's like, none, just Wendy, Team Wendy. And so Mia's like, you are so damn insecure. Because all the other husbands answered the question and she would not let her. And so I'm like, you know what? I really do think Wendy is hot and bothered by Mia. Mia's just too comfortable in herself, too happy. She doesn't care about the judgment. Mia had to admit to getting whatever, BBL, everything done for Wendy to acknowledge that she got more than just a boob job.
Yeah, she was like a role model to Wendy. You know, when she said all the plastic surgery she had, it kind of encouraged Wendy to say, yes, I did have a BBL. And my BBL had a BBL. Yeah. So that's crazy. But I feel like as a husband, you need to know better. When that's a trick question. And I feel like you need to not name names. You know what I mean? Like,
but they all did except him. Which says to me, it stood out more to me because with all those rumors and everyone's like, oh, it didn't happen. That said a lot without saying a lot.
Oh my God, Kempire.
I wanted to like Eddie too. But then I was like,
I want to like Eddie.
I want to like Eddie, but I really feel like, especially on how Dr. Wendy Asefo has been conducting herself on the show and not necessarily trying to give us an image, says to me that you're hiding something.
Oh. I agree. It just seems like, you know, he really has to bend over backwards to make this woman feel secure because something in the buttermilk ain't clean.
And maybe something happened before and they've gotten over it, but
Yeah.
We are. You're on a reality show.
Mm. All right, you guys. They said he put NA. That's the correct answer. If you ask me, NA, not applicable. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to know the answer to that question.
I don't believe
my
it.
friend group. I
Yeah.
don't want to know that question.
I know. I would feel like a little low key, like every time, like I don't know.
Give me
I wouldn't like it.
flashbacks of on Real Housewives of Atlanta when Kenya asked
Apollo.
yes, if you could do a threesome. Oh my God. Now you want to talk about fighting. You want to talk about throwing hands. Okay. That's when it would happen. That's when it would happen. Forget, we eating dinner and throwing hands. But, you guys, I want to thank you both for joining me on my channel. I'm looking forward to next week. Our standing appointment, Mondays at 1:30. We'll be rotating on each other's channel, and we'll be covering the Real Housewives of Potomac, all the tea, all the mess, all of it. All of it. And thank you guys for tuning in with us. I know I don't go live often. I don't go live often at all, and I hardly know how to work it. But for you guys, tuning in, my subscribers, Kempire subscribers, Grace Report subscribers, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you all again next week.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.